History. I'm Nathan Garcia, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most stereotypical and racist joke leaders of all time. You betcha, it's China. When the Han Dynasty finally fell in AD 220, China was struck with immense war and poverty for the next 300 years. This wasn't really awkward or anything for China because China actually spent thousands of years fighting and fighting. China's a very gruesome country. When China finally was reunified, they were reunified by a man named Wendy. No, not that one. No, that's not even a man. But really. Yes. Wendy used tactics of force and destruction to ultimately take over China and started the short-term Sui dynasty. When Wendy died, his son Yangdi took over, inevitably sharing the last two letters of their name, D. Yangdi made significant contributions to Chinese society. He restored the Great Wall and also built the massive Grand Canal, which literally had workers working to their deaths. But Yangdi wasn't all that good. In fact, on Yangdi's 65-mile recorded flotilla journey down the Grand Canal on its completion in AD 609, Yangdi actually threw good fried rice out of his boat, apparently because his body couldn't take it. But, who throws out good fried rice? Who throws out good fried rice? Who? I would. After Yangdi got assassinated by numerous peasant revolts, a new dynasty came when Yangdi's general came to the throne, the Tang. Unlike the short-lived Sui dynasty, the Tang dynasty lasted nearly 300 years. The Tang made many reforms, including reforms to farmers, which led to more advances in farming technology in China, which led to, yes, I know what you're thinking, more rice! The Tang also restored the civil service exam, built many roads and waterways to increase trade, and also found out that coal was a heatable resource, leading to the invention of steel. Soon, China's only woman ruler, Wu, came to the throne. She strengthened China's military, and they gained much of the land they lost during its wars. Unfortunately, in AD 700s, due to peasant revolts and numerous attacks from the Turks, the Tang dynasty fell. Oh, it's time for the open letter? Swiftly chairs. They're awesome, aren't they? An open letter to chopstick users around the world. But first, let's check what's inside the secret compartment today. Oh! Chopsticks! These are awesome. To all my fans out there, thank you for these authentic chopsticks. They really are awesome. Good thing I'm Asian, so I could actually use chopsticks. Yeah. Dear chopstick users, don't you guys ever feel bad that you guys are such murderers? Yes, I know, murderers. It's a strong term to use. But you guys truly are the true murderers. Don't you guys ever feel bad? Don't you guys ever regret what you do? Don't you guys ever feel bad about the trees that you murder each year? Those 3.8 million? To all those chopstick users, I don't blame you for your choice of utensil, but next time, please use your hands. Best wishes, Nathan Garcia. In AD 960, a new dynasty came from the ashes, the Sung dynasty. led by another general, the Song dynasty lasted from AD 960 to AD 1270. This time was a golden age for China. New inventions arose, including the invention of the compass and gunpowder, which led to the invention of the contemporary creeper. However, the Song had one problem. They didn't have enough soldiers to maintain their large empire. Soon enough, Tibet fell from China, and also nomads took over northern China. This led the Song dynasty to move their capital to southern Hangzhou for safety. But they finally fell from, the Mongol Empire. The Mongols started a new dynasty called the Yuan dynasty. When Kublai Khan finally died in AD 1224, a series of weak rulers followed, and the Yuan dynasty began to crumble. Mongol power began to erode, and the Mongols began losing their foothold on China. The Chinese peasants and all Chinese citizens began to yearn for a true Chinese dynasty. Led by Zhu Yuanzhang, a series of revolts finally drove the Mongols out of China for good. Yuanzhang finally started a new dynasty called the Ming dynasty, also known as the Brilliant dynasty. Yuanzhang finally changed his name to Hongwu. Hongwu was a very paranoid emperor. In fact, Hongwu killed any official he suspected of treason. When Hongwu finally died in 1398, his son Yangli took over. When Yangli finally became emperor, he moved the capital to Beijing and then built the imperial city with the forbidden city inside, especially for emperors and high officials, to show how powerful an emperor he was. From 1405 to 1431, additionally, Yangli sent a fleet of ships commanded by a famous Chinese voyager named Zheng He. The fleet contained 62 small ships, 250 large ships, and 28,000 men. That's equal to the number of children in the United States with a nervous brain tumor. That was a bad reference, sorry.
Super bad reference, that's probably because he's Asian.
The fleet traveled to Southeast Asia, Arabia, Northern Africa, and possibly even California. This increased China's wealth through trade, and also spread the Chinese culture. After Zheng He's death in 1433, Confucian officials convinced the emperor to stop all voyages from happening. After that, the emperor burned all the ships, and within 50 years, all the shipmakers forgot how to make any of the ships. However, this did not stop all outside contacts from coming to China. In 1514, a fleet of Portuguese ships came off the coast of China. The Chinese thought that the Europeans were barbarians and did not like the idea of trading with them. But slowly, they finally did. Ming finally fell when the emperor got too much power. The empire collapsed from the inside out as laziness and greed and revolts took over all of China. Soon enough, a group called the Manchus attacked from the north. When they finally succeeded in taking over Beijing, they started a new dynasty. It would be many years before the Chinese people got a new leader back to power. When they finally did, it was none other, communist China. And they still are here to this day. FlashBack is directed and produced by myself. Executive producer and cameraman is Noah Garcia. Production designer is Faith. Editor is iMovie. And special thanks to Mr. Shen. Peace out.